Kala Kadosh, everybody welcome. Be'ezrat Hashem. Hashem give us baracha, hatzlacha, briyut, arbe nachat. Shei be'ezrat Hashem, hatzlacha le'am Yisrael. Not so easy times. Be'ezrat Hashem, with Hashem help, we'll go through it and go over it. Unfortunately, they made a decree in Eretz Israel that Talmidei Chachamim needs to come out and go to war. Not only war, to join the army. May Hashem give us the matekat adin, sweeten the judgment. She would not see it. Should livatel kol hamilchamot. Shebaracha tzlacha liYaakov ben Asher. May Hashem bless him with all the blessings of the Torah. Amen. She was sponsoring for the shiur. Thank you very much. And we continue with our Agadah of Pesach. Agadah of Pesach, we spoke about previous. It's very important to learn it, to understand it. So it says, Rav Yehuda Tzadka. It says following. We talked about the topic, Kulanu nevunim, Kulanu yodim et Torah. So we started with the topic, Avodim hainu leparo b'Mitzrayim. We were slaves to the Pharaoh in Egypt. Ve'otianu Adonai Eloheinu misham. And who, Hashem, Him Himself, took us out of the Egypt. Bayat chazaka, with the strong hand. V'zro netuya, extended. If Hashem would not take us out of the Egypt, our forefathers, not us, our forefathers, Adain anachnu v'nei banenu mishudim haynu lepano b'Mitzrayim, would have been a slave to the Egyptian and to the Egyptian whole culture and all the adoptions of everything that they did to us. Afilu kunanu chachamim, we're all smart, wise. Kulanu nevunim, even though we be prophets in some level. Kulanu yodim et Torah, everybody knows Torah, and we're still able not to come out of the Egypt. So kol rega keta hayamin atzil Torah ole mitzvah. It says every second and every moment we need to know how to spend the time properly. Torah ole mitzvot. Or we have to do the Torah, or we have to do mitzvot. It says nothing worse than humanity could do like they kill time or they would waste time. A person needs to have a schedule, and he needs to have certain schedule. He needs to cover the grounds, which means learning. That pages, how many pages? He needs to always look forward. Okay? But a person, Chachamim already know this, and it's all over the Gemara. Chachamim already know a person is all the time dwell himself in the problems. Like anybody you speak, and anybody, they just have many things to go away from the Torah, whatever the Torah says. So a person, what about going to weddings every day? Going to your side every day. Says, when you're going to able to become Talmid Chacham? You have everyday weddings. Every day Chas v'Shalom has a your side. When a person becomes Talmid Chacham? Lo bitel seder limudav. He should not nullify because he's going to a wedding or before he's going to the your side. He should not nullify his seder. Seder, which just means he's constantly scheduled. Scheduling is very important. A person has a schedule. Make sure yavor. He make sure he's going to do that schedule. You learning. Make sure you're going to take the book with you to the wedding. You have a your side. Make sure you're going to take the Mishnah to that your side. Make sure you're going to fulfill your obligation. Do you remember it? Do you read it? Yes, you read it. Do you remember? I'm not so sure. Do you cover the grounds? Yes. Consistency is the key to success. But we don't see this part. He says a Torah. He is constantly in the Torah. He says the Torah we're going to be protected and he's going to be blessed with it. כמעט כל העניינים סדר היו חשבון זמני אכילתי, רק נתפנה על הרביצת התורה. He says, what about when I'm eating? or when I'm spreading the Torah to the world. The whole point It's very hard for us to grasp. I don't think I have so many students. It's very hard for them to spread the Torah. The whole point of having the Torah, not to keep to myself. The whole point of having the Torah, to spread the others. That was the whole point of Don. If he's learning, and he knows enough, and he teach others, and others would teach others, that's the whole point of learning Torah. על פי דבריו ניישב כשאלות אחד לאחד על ישראל לא חטא, אבל היה צריך והתחלק של 400 שנה. So, that's what Rav Yehuda Tzadka says, that the person has to be very, very careful on the time. מעתה נבהל עצם גדול של עם ישראל היכל הזיזוק, והזיכוך של אבותינו הקדושים נצרך לזיכוך נוסף כל העם כדי שיתאים לקבל תורה מן השמיים. He says the reason we were enslaved in Egypt, and the reason Avraham Avinu was not debating with Hashem, but like he was debating with the Sodom, the only one reason is because we need to be purified 100% in order for us to accept the Torah. שבו לאחרות ברית עם אברהם אבינו עליו השלום להבטיח לו כי זרע ירש את ארץ ישראל. Not only that, we're going to be inherited the beautiful land of Eretz Israel. שהוא מעבר העולם הבא. Eretz Israel is like living in the עולם הבא. Rabbi, I love to know Eretz Israel. I don't if you know עולם הבא. Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai says, 3 דברים נקנית בייסורים. מסכת ברכות, page ה'. Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai says 3 things Eretz Israel will be buying. What does it mean? 3 דברים. בייסורים, Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai says, I'm sorry, but בייסורים, with the pain and suffering. Eretz Israel, Torah, ועולם הבא. Which just means Eretz Israel, dwelling, living in Eretz Israel, it's not easy. With the Yisurim. Torah, not easy. Person goes through many Yisurim. Olam haba, to really have a person Olam haba, he needs to go through suffering and pain, chas v'shalom. יש לו צורך בזיכוך גדול, צורך להיכנס את העם, בכור הברזל של מצרים לזכו לטהרו מכל הזוהמה. Says whatever he accepted negativity from the Egyptians, now Hashem take us out from the Egypt, and all the negativity that were accepted by the slavery, being enslaved, that actually cleanses us. יצאנו ברכוש גדול אחרי זיקוק. We came out with a lot of wealth. Nevertheless, Bechorot, it says, on page 5, 90 donkeys we came out with. Not only that, we came out with the Torah, which just means we accepted the Torah. You know, a person has to be blessed. Say to myself, I'm blessed every day. You know why I'm blessed? See, most of the people would not take a book, not open it. They're just going to look at the wall or look at the black garbage box, and that's it. They could not have learning. So that's called not blessed. Me, as a person, as a Jew, I'm blessed that I'm able to get chokhmah, wisdom and knowledge every second, every moment. You know how blessing that is? You're not going on your phone. You're not going on the gossip. You're not going on the same different topics. You're going and you're getting the chokhmah. So, בקיצור נמרץ, ועל כן דבריו נתרשו שאלות שאלה אחד לאחד, על ישראל לא חטא. עם ישראל לא חטא. Jewish people did not do a sin. אבל היה צריך להתחלק של 400 שנה בזכוק וזיקוק, כדי שיהיה ראויים לעמוד על הר סיני לקבל תורה. Says, עם ישראל did not sin, because we need to get so purified in an exile, in order for us to accept the Torah. Avraham Avinu קיבל את הזאת בשלוות הנפש. Avraham Avinu accepted that, whatever that he said, Hashem to Avraham Avinu, your kid's going to be enslaved. He did not say he was in Egypt. And he says it's going to be 400 years. Avraham Avinu accepted that with a calmness. כי ידע כוחו של הרכוש של כדאי יהיה לסבול גלות שבעולם עבור אין דומה להפיכת סדום. He says it's not the same comparison when Hashem says I'm going to destroy the Sodom, because over there it became as a punishment. But over here in Egypt it became for us to accept the Torah. כי שם זה היה בגדר עונש, כאן זה בגדר זיכוך. In the time of the Sodom, when Avraham Avinu says there's a 40 tzaddikim, 50 tzaddikim, 45, 40 tzaddikim, he says that was in a That was in a time when they're supposed to be get punished. Over here, we're supposed to be get cleansed. משל למד אומר, רופא שאומר לאדם צריך להכניס את בנו לבית החולים כדי לזכך את דמו. He says, what is the mashal? What's the example? He says, a father has a son, and he goes inside the hospital, and he says, in order for me to purify your son's, the body, the immune system, I have to draw the blood, or I have to put in the blood that will make the circulation. אם יעלה על דעת שאב יסרב על יבקשה, הנחה שפחות ימים, he says, father would deny and to say, no, I don't want my son to go to this procedure. No, he's going to do everything that the son should go to that procedure. ודאי שלא, עלי רופא מבקש תורתו מקום לטענות. He says, the doctor wants the best for that child at that moment. So who's going to say no? אולם אין שופט רוצה לגזור על הבן מאסר, ודאי שאב יבקש רחמים למעט בזמן כמה אפשר. Says, God forbid, if somebody was able, the father and the son, and the judge says this is the amount of years he needs supposed to be get in jail, of course the father is going to be asked for mercy. זה הבדל שבין ישראל לסדום. And this is the difference between Sodom, which is in the time of the Lord, that they did everything against the Torah, and everything against the humanity. So he says that's the difference between Ar Israel and the Sodom. הפיכת סדום הייתה בגדר עונש. Sodom became punishment. דוגמת השופט שמטל עונש. It's like a judge is giving time sentencing to jail to that country. לכן הנסגר מנסה להמתיק את הספק הדין כמו אפשר. Avraham Avinu did everything impossible in his hand in order for him to make the sweeten the judgment of the Sodom. מה שכן פה ישראל בגדר רפואה ותיקון. For Am Israel it became healing and it became fixing. ואין מקום מבקש לחמים כי אם זה לא טובת שיהיו רואים לקבל תורה לעולם הבא. He says there's no point of asking for mercy because they were able to accept the Torah and they were able to accept Am Israel עולם הבא. אמרה גמרא רב ששת היה חוזר תלמודו בכל חודש. מסכת פסחים in page 68. רב ששת used to go over his Torah every month. Every month. So Rav Sheshet, that's what it says Masechet. חוזר לנו בכל חודש היה אומר לנפשו, חדי נפשי, חדי נפשי. He says, I have a new soul, new soul. לך קרא לי תנאי, כלומר שמחזיק את נפשו, שכל התורה לומד עושה טובה לנפשו. He says, everything that I'm doing everything good for my soul. הגמרא של ואמר רבי אליעזר, אלמלא תורה לא יתקיים שמיים וארץ. He says, if it wasn't for the Torah, the heavens and the earth would not existed. כלומר, מדוע אמר רב ששת לנפשך, לך קרא כל העולם מתקיים על ידי לימודו. תרצה הגמרא, נכון שכל העולם נהנה מתקיים על ידו, אבל סוף סוף שאדם לומד, אוויר איניש עדתה נפשי אביד. He says, not only he sustained the world, he sustained his own soul. That means when a person is learning and doing mitzvot, he's investing in his neshama. You know, like we eat, we're investing in our body. When we're learning, we're investing in our neshama. So how smart we are, it depends how many times, how many hours we spend in our neshama. כלומר, כל אחד עוסק בתורה, קודם כל, חושב להועיל לעצמו, לכן he says, anybody that learns Torah, he's only thinking about himself in that moment. רב ששת אומר לך קרא לתנאי ואחר כך כל העולם. הצלח במקום תירץ קושיית גמרא באופן אחר. הפעם הייתי בעבודה זרה. הצלח, he gives a different interpretation, במסכת עבודה זרה. שמיים וארץ נקמו על ידי קבלת התורה. He says the reason the heavens and the earth is sustained in this world because we accepted the Torah. דאמר רוצה לומר מה דכתיב יום שישי, יום השישי. says the sixth day. מלמד שהתנה הקדוש ברוך הוא עם שמיים וארץ שלא יקיים ערי קבלת תורה. הקדוש ברוך הוא made a condition with the heavens and the earth. If we're not going to accept the Torah, the heavens and the earth, which just means the land would not exist. דכתיב יום השישי. It says on the sixth day. יום שנתנה בו תורה שישי בני סיוון. So what's the Torah was given? on the 6th of the Sivan. לא בריתי יומם ולילה חוקת שמיים וארץ, לא שמתי, כלומר שמיים וארץ היו רופפים עד שני בני ישראל קבלו את תורה והתקיימו. So it says the heavens will be standing, and if the Jewish people, until the Jewish people would not accept the Torah. למה לא יתקיים על ידי אבות שיקיימו את התורה? Our forefathers did the whole Torah. So why, with our pillars, which is means Abraham, Yitzchak, Yaakov, why the heaven and the earth would not be exist? Why can't we just have our forefathers? תירץ כי אבות לא היו מצווים אין בכוחם לקיים את העולם. Our forefathers was not commanded to many mitzvot. So they did it from their own will. So because they did it from their own will, that's considered the world cannot exist with our avod, which just means only for our forefathers would able to do what it says in the Torah. ואתה אומר, נתיישבו דברי רב ששת, שאמר לך, כי הוא היה סומה כידוע לפני דת רבי יהודה, סומה פטור מהמצוות. Rav Sheshet was going over his Talmud every 30 days. What?
He was finished the whole Talmud every 30 days.
Right. The whole Torah, it says. Not only Talmud, which just means the Tanakh, everything.
Where do you find the time for that?
No, that's not the question. The Gemara says he was blind. Blind.
He was blind?
Blind.
Maybe he's blind later on.
No, he's blind. He's blind. Rav Sheshet was blind. What is he teaching you over here?
Maybe he was blind to the world.
No. Actually blind. What is he teaching you over here?
There's a way.
That's right. So why did I give this type of example?
So who was teaching him?
כידוע לפני רבי יהודה, סומה פטור במצווה. Rabbi Yehuda says somebody is blind, is not obligated for mitzvah. לכן תורתנו לא יקיים את העולם, לכן אמר, לקרא כלומר, כל התורה שלו רק לנפשו. That's why he says, oh, his Torah to his soul. Why? Because he doesn't do mitzvot. He's learning. ולא לכל העולם עד כאן דבריו. As he says, he also do mitzvot. Not to the whole world. He says to my nefesh, which just means to my soul. מעתה אף אנו נער כל הנער שיגיע לבר מצווה. He says each person comes to the bar mitzvah. מעכשיו יהיו מצווה ועושה. He was commanded and he has to do it. תורתנו מגינה כל העולם. Our Torah protects the whole world. לכן צריך לעשות סעודה מצווה חשוב אצל כל יום טוב. מצינו בגמרא. He says this is the time when a person does bar mitzvah. We have to do mitzvah, סעודה מצווה. חשוב כיום טוב. It's like a yom tov for him. Like it says in the Baba Metzia, like it says in the Talmud on page 87. שאומר רב יוסף, כל דאמר אין הלכה כרבי יהודה, שמר סומה פטור ממצווה, אבית יום הטבע לרבנן, בעבור שעשה מחייב במצווה. So he says, Rav Sheshet, Rav Yossi says, halacha is not like a Rabbi Yehuda. And he says, Rabbi Sheshet used to, every 30 days, he used to do Yom HaTava, he used to do Yom Tov, because he's finishing the whole Torah kulo. He's finishing the whole Torah. גם שמעתי מפי רבי עזרא עטיה. Rabbi Ezra Atiyah says following, Zichronon Tzadik Kadosh Livracha. He was the Rosh Yeshiva of Porat Yosef. Porat Yosef is the Sephardi Yeshiva, is in Yerushalayim. We're talking about also before World War II. Okay? מכאן שמח שעושים יום טוב למר במצווה שאתה נתחייב במצווה הגדולה מצווה ועושה כן נחמד. So he says that's why a person should do bar mitzvah. And a bar mitzvah has to be that he's happy. What is he happy? He's going to the mitzvot u'ma'asim tovim. That's what he has to be happy. But a lot of us took the bar mitzvah to different proportions, to different understanding what's really the bar mitzvah is. I've seen it a couple of times. I'm not going to say many times because I don't go that often to the parties. You tell him, come pray Aravit with us. He says, no, I'm going to take a picture. That's his first time doing the mitzvah, the oraita. He's chayav, it's must. And he says, no, I'm going to do picture. The grandfather walks with a kippah, prays 3 times a day. says, no, let him take a picture. They call on him, he's going to do later on. When he's going to do? There's going to be no minyan. When he's going to do? You understand? So we're missing the proportion. Then we start arguing like a arrogance. What are you sitting arguing? You're making a sin. That was not the purpose of bar mitzvah. The bar mitzvah is not. Nobody told you not to take pictures. There's a time. 28 times, King Solomon says. There's a time for laughing. There's a time to be born. There's a time to be live. There's a time for be happy. There's a time. I'm not denying you're supposed to be not take. But we taking a different concept. Even we educated, and when we go to shul, we just don't care. That's what the bottom line. If we would have cared about the bar mitzvah, the first thing we would have made him, we need to do Shema Israel together. Because that's his first time saying Shema, obligation from the Torah. So let's go. Yodim et Torah mitzvah alenu. We know the Torah, each one of us. Mitzvah to us say Yitziat Mitzrayim, Sipur Yitziat Mitzrayim. So do I say everything, Rabbi, over here, everything in this book? Or I just read the Agada and translate? Many Talmidei Chachamim, Edi Chachamim says, just translate. Just translate the whole Agada. The whole Agada talks about Emunah. Emunah, which just means believe. It's one of the Hasidim is arguing, it's been the Gdolim, two rabbis' argument, past couple 100 years ago. He says, he sends him a letter, he says, why do you argue with me? He says, when I build my sukkah, I see all the ushpizin, which just means all the guests, Abraham, Yitzchak, Yaakov, Moshe, Aaron. And he says, that's who you're going to argue with? He sends him back a letter. He says, yes, I will argue with you. He says, my emunah is much greater than yours. He says, the difference is, in order for you to believe, you need to see. But I don't need to see in order for me to believe. Did you get what is he saying? Yes. But you're saying all of you opposite. You say, if I see the tzaddik, Avraham Avinu, standing in front of me, and he is invited in my sukkah, I have to see him. Look, I'm such a tzaddik. You don't see it, you're not a tzaddik. He says, I don't need to be seen in order for me to understand who is Avraham, Yitzchak, Yaakov. You see it, rabbis? How to learn? People thinking by we sing or by me performing, I'm becoming much greater. So Yodim et Torah mitzvah alenu. So we know the whole Torah. It's a mitzvah for us to spread the Torah. So let's understand it. Maasim barabim chashuvim. Maaseh barabim chashuvim. A person, a deed, public deed is very important. Gdolei Torah v'resh mativta. He says all the giants of the Torah were spreading Torah. Mativta v'dinu b'sheila. Im nachon davar lishloach et talmid hayeshivot la'afitz Torah barabim. So they have a halachic question. People sitting learning. Is the Rosh Yeshiva needs to send people to other people in order to spread the Torah of Hashem? That's the question. Or you should be sitting and learning, or you should go in and spreading the Torah of Hashem all over the world. להפיץ תורה ברבים, דהיינו למסור שיעורים ביושבי עולם וחדשים. So it says, are you supposed to be spread the Torah all over, or are you supposed to be sit and learn all day? או שמא יש לו פן יצא שכרם בהפסדם. Maybe he's going to lose. You're supposed to be get rewarded, but he's going to lose on spreading the Torah to people. מפני ביטול תורה. You're nullifying the people. People mingling a lot of times. Questions. Is it considered you nullifying the Torah or no? בראש האסיפה יושב נשיא ועד הישיבות הגאון רבי יחזקאל אברמסקי, זיכרונו צדיק קדוש לברכה. רבי יחזקאל was one of them. בעל חזון יחזקאל, גם רבנו השתתף באסיפה הזאת. רב יהודה עטיה also was in that gathering of all the giants of rabbis. אולם רבים שחוו את דעתם אל הנושא. They have many opinions on this subject. אחד אחרי שני, רובם ככולם נתנו שלילי, לא הבין מה שאמרו מאומה. דיברו כולם ביידיש. Everybody spoke in that gathering in Yiddish. They almost did not understand what they're saying. רב אברמסקי פנה אליו בעלה חשיפה שיגיד גם זאת דעתו, לא פילי רבנו כלל, דבריו הסתרו לחלוטין דברי קדמיו. לא התכוון לזה. So now, רב יחזקאל, his opinion, פתח ואמר מצינו בגמרא. Says, sources. The Chachamim all the time have sources. So he says, what's your opinion? He says, the opinion is like this, my rabbis. Gemara Baba Metzia, page 85. And you need to ask yourself a question. They didn't know that Gemara. They know the whole shots back and forth. So he's opening the Gemara, which is in his mind, and he's giving this to the public. Baba Metzia in page 85 says following, כל המלמד את בנו חברו תורה, זוכה ישיבה בישיבה של מעלה. Somebody is teaching his Jew fellow friend, his son, a Torah, he's able to sit upstairs in the heavens in a yeshiva, in a study hall. מה כוונת הדברים? What does it mean? כולם רצו חז"ל רק להבטיחנו. Chazal, which is give us 100% guarantee, if I'm teaching Torah to somebody else, it's guaranteed that he's going to sit in the heavens with Hashem, and Hashem is going to teach him the Torah. Guarantee. She'adam kazeh makom mushroim kolel. He says, if a person is sitting inside the kolel, which means studying all day, is that type of guarantee comes in or no? Gam ba'olam haba, he says, okay, he's learning over here, that he's going to be learning in העולם הבא. אלא ודאי כך נתכוונו, אדם מקדיש זמנו כדי ללמוד בין חברו, עלול יפסיד בגלל זה מלימוד תורה. So a person says, I'm teaching others, like this, I'm going to lose my own time of learning. Right? אולי יקרה שיחמיץ או פעם את השיעור של הראש ישיבה בסוגיה החמורה או ברמב"ם. He says sometimes the Rosh Yeshiva brings the topic in a Rambam. באים עוברים נטווחים, אל תדאג, שסופו לשמע אותו שיעור בישיבה של מעלה. He says, oh, I missed the shiur on a Rambam. Rav Yehuda Tzadka says, don't worry. Upstairs they're going to teach you all the Rambam. פשט רמב"ם, מפי רמב"ם בכבודו בעצמו, אינו עדיף. He says, not only understanding, trying to understand the Rambam. He says they're going to teach you the whole Rambam. Not they're only going to teach you all Rambam. Rambam himself going to teach you.
But that's not now, that's in the future when you pass.
No, that's when you go and spread the Torah of Hashem to others.
When they're going to teach you? When your time comes to go to the next world.
Your job is going and spreading the Torah all over the world. That's your job. Upstairs in the heavens, whatever you didn't understand, whatever you missed the shiur, Rambam himself is going to teach you the whole Torah of his Torah. Not from Rosh Yeshiva, not from anybody, from himself. Not to understand it, not clearly, did not understand. Understand clearly from the Rambam himself. Importance, a must do, spreading the Torah of Hashem all over the world. Right? What does it take? Courage. What does it take? Take out the laziness. What does it take? Desires. So bottom line comes to this. And do we have any vigida? How you say, Rabbi Nisi? Benefit. Do we have any benefit from it? Because we don't benefit from it, it's very hard for us to attach. Most of us, we became very beneficial. In everything that we do, we need to have a benefit. If it's not benefit, it doesn't work for us. No, you're not. If that's the case, so why don't you go spreading, like the Chabad comes here every Saturday, why don't you do the same thing? Why don't you take others? Okay, one person would not listen, 3 pieces. All the saying the Rebbe says, what happened to all the 1,000 Rebbes, we don't know. But the Rebbe says, and that's it. They never saw him. That's implanted in them in the yeshiva, and that's it. And they're doing it. Whether it's the 15 years old kid, whether it's a 90 years old kid, 90 years old man, rabbi. They all say Rebbe said it, and that's it. They do it.
Okay.
What? They instill in it.
It's a little bit of cult-like behavior.
So don't be like a cold behavior. Spread. So say the Torah says. Say the Torah says. The Rashi says. The Gemara says. The Rambam. The Rosh Rif. Shulchan Aruch, and that's it. Okay. Say it again. They could not come from the Rebbe. They could come from all over the world. They come in and they just say the Rebbe said. They never saw him. They just 15, 16, some of them. But they're doing it. The fact, what they're doing it, they're doing it. That's the fact. That's the message. So Rav Yehuda Tzad, they keep spreading. Whether you're listening to them, whether you don't like it, whether you make guys' faces, not faces, they're doing it. You know what they're doing it? Because they're obnoxious. When you're obnoxious, the Kedusha, they don't care. When you don't care, who think, how think, what think, they continue doing it. You're going to fight with them, they're going to continue doing it. That's called Azeh de Kedusha. It's obnoxiousness of Kedusha. Kedusha, which just means of the holiness. When a person comes to the monetary problem with the money, and somebody took somebody who cheated, how angry he gets. Angry. Very angry. He's losing his Tzelem Elokim. He's losing his image of Hashem. Right? Right? That's what it comes. That's the way he has to be in a Torah. Obnoxious. Somebody does not like you to say whatever you say, he's going to go. He's going to knock. He's going to do it. That's what we have to do. ועוד אמרו מצינו אפילו המוראים תקפה גמרא ביטלו תורתם למען ציל נפש של זולתם. In the time of Amoraim, also they used to go spread the Torah in order to save Jewish soul. We must have in this world to be Jewish, save Jewish soul. מספר מסכת, מסופר במסכת סוכה. It says in מסכת סוכה in page 52. אביי שמאי דהו גברא דאמר להי, התתה נקדים וזיל בו אורחה, הזיל אפשריהו מייסורה. אביי used to go, שעזב אביי את הסטנדרט עם הגמרא, אולי את השיעור ואת תלמידיו, כדי לפרש את הפלוני מן העבירה. אביי used to leave his standard. אביי ורבא, which is all over the Gemara, Amoraim. Standards, yeah. Of course they have. What's the problem of having? So Abaye Rava, Abaye used to leave his standard, and he used to go and spread, and he to save the Jewish soul. One of the key factors, and that's what my organization does, that's what I'm trying to do, save others from making a sin. Whether we're going to give them tefillin, whether we're going to give them tzitzit, whether we're going to give them sidur, where we're going to give him kedusha, where we're going to give him, buy him a plate, where we're going to make the plates kosher. All these factors, tzniut, modesty, whether take people out of the sicknesses, all these things, that's what we do in an organization, and that's what we're trying to do. But it's hard. You know why it's hard? Because you have people, it's not supporting you. You don't have the backbone to support it. They're always trying to put you down. But remember what I explained to you before? You have to be obnoxious, ugly. And that gives a push to the person, you don't care. So, משמע דברי אברמסקי, קרא שפך מר את הכל הקערה, את כל המים, כוונו לאמר שרבנו בו בנאומו הקצר ודחה את כל דברי הרבים שקדמו וצדק עמו. So it says that Rabbi Yecheskel, a lot of Talmidei Chachamim says, no, you cannot leave the standard. You need to continue learning. Cannot bring the people tshuva. So the whole point of spreading Kulanu Chachamim, we're all smart, we're all knowledgeable, but we tend to be only knowledgeable to ourselves. We're able to only nourish our souls. Right? So let's go forward. Zman litziat alenu yisaper mitzayah. המרבה לספר במציאת מצרים, הרי זה משובח. המרבה לספר ביציאת מצרים. The more person speaks about יציאת מצרים in the time of the Pesach, it's praiseworthy is that man. Parasha Bo in Zohar, page 39, it says, the angels, the assembly angels, and it says, look, my kids in this world, how they say Yetziat Mitzrayim. So, what do we need to do? We take our books of the Yetziat Mitzrayim that talks about the Agadah of Pesach. And we need to what? We need to read it so we don't mumble. And we need to make it with the happy. So what we need to take a pictures. How's the decor? There's many illustrated pictures. There's many stories. Prepare 1 or 2 stories. Make it happy. Don't get upset. Don't make the table running like it's a, I don't know, chas v'shalom, a person sitting and mourn. It's a holiday. I understand it's a pressure for a lot of us because there's so many mitzvot. But if a person knows the halacha, it's no problem in many things that be occurring in Pesach. Pesach is a simcha. Pesach is a geula, redemption. Inner redemption. But for most of us, or a lot of us, I'm not going to say, it becomes like a burden. Lachatz. Lachatz, which just means pressure. Peer pressure, parents' pressure, kids' pressure. No. Pesach, do Yetziat Mitzrayim. Tell Hashem, ask for Hashem to take me out of this galud, exile. Each one of us, we could be in our own exile. And we are actually. We're in our own exile. Right now, in the time of the Pesach, Arizal says, why we have to do every year? This happened many because the light that comes in the Pesach, you'll be in light in that day only. So it's very important to be happy, to understand what means happiness, and do not talk nonsense on the table in a Yetziat Mitzrayim, because this is the time of where we have to speak about everything that has to do with Hashem. Toda Rabba al Akshava. Thank you very much for listening. May Hashem give us baracha tzlacha, geula, במהרה בימינו, וכן יהי רצון ונאמר אמן.
ציווה לנו לפני היום עצמו, נכון? לפני יציאה.
Что такое יום עצמו?
חג פסח.